This is the Kissable Diva, thanking you for tuning in to Kissable Nights, where we discuss everything love, sex, and relationships after dark. Remember to tune in every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. This is our first show. So excited. This is our first show, and today we're going to be talking about dating etiquette. This season is called "Tis the Season." I chose that because we can play on the words that we are going into the holidays. It is the season. Everybody's life is in a different season, and dating can apply to everyone that is entertaining someone anyway. On today's show, we have Miss Lurleen Perigore, and she is an analyst by day. Her creative background, however, is varied. She plays multiple instruments, is a makeup artist, and an event planner and coordinator. She is someone that believes in love, takes makeup as an accessory to beauty, and lives life to the fullest. Thank you so much for co-hosting today's show with us, Lurleen.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Today, as I've already stated, is dating etiquette. Some of the things that we think that people should already know going in, or while on your first date, or while you're dating to get to know someone. Just some of the things we just wanted to talk about today. And of course, this conversation can continue on the website or in our discussion on Facebook, if you think that you want to add something to it. So let's talk about being on time. So ladies, I know that most of the time we get ready for our dates and it takes us an hour, 2 hours. Most of the time I've heard, because they like to play, or we like to play the radio. I don't play the radio most of the time. Most of the time I'm getting ready and I'm thinking about what I want to wear. But a lot of my girlfriends like to play the radio, and if their song comes on, they have to do a small mini video in the mirror with the brush while they're getting ready, and that kind of slows them up. And then they have to think about what they're wearing, then they have to think about the shoes, and then the makeup, and all that great stuff. And by that time, you're probably an hour to 2 hours late, some people. That's pretty drastic. But if your date tells you, especially someone that you're dating for the first time, or someone that you're dating, for the first, second, third time, you kind of don't want to make it a habit to be late unless, they accept that. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I don't know about the whole music playing thing. However, I know that when I'm mentally preparing, say it's a day where I've just gotten off from work, or a Saturday where I've just laid around and played all day and did nothing, I will sit there and I will think like, this might be important. No. Think about life, what I've done all day, and then I'm like mentally preparing myself for my date. So I tend to just sit, and time can get away from you. I will admit, I'm usually late to a lot of stuff. But like it was previously stated, if you know time can get away from you, considering this to be a first, second, or third date, you want to put your best foot forward, not just look great, but be great. And sometimes be great means be on time, or
right.
Be reasonable time.
Right.
So it's always best to strive to be ready, or to be reasonably on time. Reasonably 5 to 10 minutes late,
Right.
not 30, 45 to an hour.
Right. So I think it would be a great idea for everybody to be on time. Me included, because I'm late. I'm one of the late ones. But I try my best to, if you're honest with your date and let them know that sometimes time gets away, that they can probably let you know the time an hour before the event starts, or 2 hours before the event starts. They can give you that time instead of the right time. Some men know. Some men already know going in.
So know ahead of time going into the relationship or the dating cycle.
Some men know. I've met some guys that would ask me out on a date, and they'll be like, well, I'm going to just tell you that, be ready by 7. I already know how women are. be ready by 7, and they'll probably, check in and say, I'm just checking in, let you know that I'm on my way, blah, blah, blah. If you need more time, let me know. You know what I mean? Some men already know. Some men are very strict about time and feel like that person should be responsible for their time. And when I tell you 8 o'clock, be respectful of my time, because a lot of people, feel that way. Well, some people feel that way. Be respectful of my time. If I tell you 8 o'clock, be ready 7:30. I'm hitting you up 7:30. I've had dates like that too. So everybody's different. Everybody has different personalities, but to me, if you're meeting someone for the first time, it's good to put forth that effort. Just like it was previously stated, as Lurleen said, put your best foot forward and impress that person by being on time, if not earlier. So on dates, we all tend to you want to show your best on the date, but I say don't be afraid to be awkward. If it's really you, if that's the person that you are, this is the person that they're meeting, this is the person they're getting to know, don't be afraid to be awkward. I mean, it is normal to be awkward. This is someone that you've never met before. This is someone that you're about to get to know, or you're on your 5th date and you're getting to know them. If this person is really paying attention to you, obviously, if you're on a 5th date, y'all obviously enjoy each other. But if they're getting to know you, they're going to see that awkwardness about you. And it's nothing wrong with being awkward. It's natural. We're human. And that's what we do when we are meeting someone. It's almost like, you kind of shy to show the different facets of yourself, but you'll learn to be comfortable, you'll learn to be free, and then you'll be able to show your true self to that person, and you all go from there, whether it's good for the both of you or not. What do you think, Lurleen?
Myself, mm-hmm. I am socially awkward. And it's weird to me that you actually say don't be afraid to be awkward, because in everyday life I am awkward, and then say I go and I meet new people or I'm on a date, I overextend myself as trying to be not socially awkward. Mm-hmm. So in attempting to be something different than what I am, I end up being really awkward, mm-hmm. in that I firing off questions. I don't let it come naturally, mm-hmm. until I seem to relax. So it's just all about being yourself. If your personality is strong, don't be afraid to show that, because right. in the end, your personality is going to shine through no matter what. If you're shy, they probably already know that before they asked you out on that date,
right?
Because assuming they probably had to ask you on that date to begin with.
Exactly.
Always be true to yourself,
right?
And you won't go wrong,
right? And piggybacking on that, being true to yourself, the next thing would be emotionally available. Like, what does that mean? I'm not saying that you have to reveal everything that you ever wanted in your heart, but if this person is into you and they're asking you questions, be available for them to answer those questions. I mean, that is the purpose of the date. You're dating to get to know the person. I mean, why are you there if you're not going to be emotionally available? You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
Be honest about what you're there for, what you're wanting. I mean, don't go there saying that you are looking for someone to be in a long-term relationship when really you're looking for someone to be a part-time lover, or someone just to date, or just, a meal for the night. Be honest. Just like she said, be true to yourself. Be honest about what it is that you want out of meeting this person. I mean, most people, they're just dating for fun, which is fine if you're dating for fun, but don't do it to where the person that you're dating, say I'm dating for fun, but they're dating for a relationship, but I'm not being truthful about it, or I'm not being forthcoming omitting the fact that I just want to eat, this meal for the night. And, I don't plan on talking to you anymore, but, that's just what it is. But if I'm truthful and say, I'm just dating, I just want to date people right now. I'm not really looking to be in a relationship. That person knows where you stand, and that takes away any conflict in the future if you all decide to go out again. You know what I mean?
I just want to put it out there.
What?
If you set an expectation, don't be mad if that person finds someone else to be serious with eventually while they're just dating you.
Right.
And that's when you want to become serious.
Right.
Because guys have that relational feel where what you say in the beginning kind of sticks. So if they're setting that limitation for them, it's not always easy to bridge that gap again.
That's
so
true.
If you're truthfully only looking for a bedmate, a dinner partner, or you're a serial dater, be straightforward with it. But you have the right to change your mind, but they don't always have that availability for you to change your mind.
Don't be selfish and, well, I'm going to just have this one. When I feel like going out on Wednesdays, that's when I'm going to call them. Or just having them in your little repertoire just when you feel like going out and dating. That's not fair. It's not fair. That's being selfish. I understand people go through it, but it still needs to be said that is selfish. And be honest and tell the person what it is you're available for so that they know what they're working with. That person may be looking for or wanting a long-term relationship, but you in your heart know, well, I'm not really looking for that. I just, want this good conversation, this good meal, this good after night cap. Okay.
I've never heard it called this good after night cap.
Hey,
I'm going to have to use that.
Well, I'm just saying, they may want, just want to tap real quick, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of have to see those signs too. The person that, I may be on this date and I may be looking, I'm open to a relationship. And then I see this person and they're not being honest. And you could kind of get a feel for it, because guess what? The next thing is ask questions. Don't be sitting there just assuming that this person is into you or this person is looking for a relationship, because they may not be forthcoming, because there are a lot of people who aren't. But if you ask the questions, the right questions, like, what is it that you're looking for? Are you interested in having a relationship? Or, are you open to seeing what's happen, what happens? Or are you just looking for a friend? You know what I mean? So those things you need to know. Those things I feel like you need to know. Now, I'm not saying run him down 20 more questions the first date, but if you're just enjoying their conversation, their, what do you call it? Enjoying just having a companion, or just enjoying them being in your presence, just going out and having fun, do that. And as you're doing that, you can just, ask little questions here and there, and just to see where their head is. And sometimes, you'll click to where they have no problem. They're just opening up to you, and, it's almost like a fountain, just pouring out whatever you want to know. And sometimes it closes it up, and they just give you one word answers where you know that they're not comfortable and they may not be ready to do that. So you kind of got to ask questions and get a feel of who it is you're talking to. You got anything to add?
I just had a awakening moment, like that ding moment. Please be honest. If you're not interested in them for the long term, or at least the near future, just be honest. Because say they are on Tinder and they're swiping left and swiping right, and you pop up and it's like, well, wait a minute. I thought they said they weren't on Tinder anymore. Or wait a minute. I thought we were getting a little bit serious.
Oh, God.
getting ready to shut down my account because I thought we were on another level, and she over here liking somebody. Or if you're a fisher of women or men, don't be mean. Don't be mad. I was a fisher of men on plenty of fish, and well, it's a lot of fish, a lot of rough looking fish too. Just be honest, because you never know who you come across.
Oh my God.
Or who might come across you and who you may know.
That's right.
Because you just be strolling through and see your lawyer friend or whoever and be like, well, wait a minute, they got it all together. What's going on? So if you find people, they can find you.
That's right. That's true. So, moving on, let's not bring up past relationships. Okay? Like when you're going out on these multiple dates with this person, you're getting to know them. Why are you bringing your past? Listen, I understand if you're in a past relationship and, you were hurt, you know what I'm saying? You don't necessarily have to bring all of that to the new person. You don't have to bring all of that. You know what I'm saying? If you have healed from hurting, if you have learned your lesson from that, that story and that person does not have to be brought into the new. You don't have to do that. You can express, I have suffered heartbreak before, and hey, I'm careful now, but I am enjoying our time together, and we'll see what happens. I'm open to it, or something like that. But I don't have to know about Carrie Ann, and
please don't give names. If you do make a blanket statement concerning your ex, please just say, "Oh, my ex used to do that."
Yes, they
blah,
do.
Blah, blah. We had fun.
I done got
Let
the
it be
whole
a
story. I done heard about the mama. I done heard about, the mama and the grandchildren. And honey, I don't want to hear all of that. Please save me. What is that? What is that word? Spare me. Please spare me the details.
Oh, I thought you were getting ready to say, I don't want to know the meat and potatoes of the whole relationship.
That too. I don't want to know all of that. Just, it'll be wonderful if you just, give me a nice blurb. You know what I'm saying? Because then I could say, okay, in that relationship, he probably was hurt. This is why he's defensive about this. You know what I'm saying? And as you get further into that relationship, maybe, that will come up, but it's not a necessary thing. You know what I mean? But yeah.
And if they mention it or they bring it up and they say, well, maybe you're 5 dates in and he's really feeling you, you're really feeling him.
Mm-hmm.
And one of you asked that question of, well, if I may ask, why is it that previous relationship didn't work? Mm-hmm. If you're not ready to talk about it as a sane human being, just say, maybe we can hold off on that conversation until because it's nothing worse than a bitter Betty or a bitty Benji complaining where that conversation could have been we were in two different headspaces conversation, and it turns into a 1 hour conversation. Nobody gets sucked into that.
Did you just say bitter Betty and bitter Benji?
I had to come up with a male name that started with a B. I don't know.
You are so funny. That's funny. Okay. So yeah, don't bring up your exes. That's just, don't do it. Just don't do it. Just, especially their names. Like, we don't need to know their names. We ain't trying to meet them. No, don't do it.
They might be boys or girls or boy girlfriends in a past life. Nobody.
Right. Listen, if you're bringing your ex into this five, you just been on this date 3 times, and you are bringing up your ex, talking about how she hurt you, how it was terrible, the whole situation, you have not healed yet. You are not ready. Okay? When you're ready, you'll say, you know what? I suffered heartache, but I've learned from it, and I know how to move. I know how to move forward. And you can handle your business. Like, We don't need to know all of that. Just this is keep it. We don't want it.
Moving forward as healthy people.
That's men and female too. That's not just men. But I'm just going by my experience because I date men. But that's women too. That's women as well.
It's part of life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all have done it.
Exactly.
On the part of speaking about exes, if you have children, we sometimes see that there's no way around speaking about the ex on a fifth relationship, because if you've had children, that person that you were on date 3, 4, or 5 with should actually know about said child, whether they're in your custody or not. Mm-hmm. Just because you have your little love bunnies does not necessarily mean that you need to talk about their mother or their father. Just make it simple. Oh, we get along. The co-parent experience is great. Mm-hmm. My child's mother or father has passed on. Mm-hmm. Just remain positive, because a negative situation with a previous relationship, as Rebecca said, can spill over into a current relationship. Mm-hmm. Everybody wants to feel as though if it doesn't work out with you or with them, that you're going to take that negative aspect into another relationship, because word of mouth does spread, and it spreads horribly, and it can ruin current and future relationships.
That's true. It absolutely can. So, piggybacking on that, introducing your children to them too soon. What do you think about that? Now, me personally, my daughter has only met, outside of her father, she's only met one person, and my daughter's 10. And her father and I broke up when she was 3. So she's only met one person. I feel like I need to be really serious about this person before they meet my child, because they're so impressionable, and I don't want to set the trend of her meeting multiple men, like her mother is with multiple men, because that's what it looks like. You know, even though you're not quote unquote with them, if you're constantly bringing someone to meet your children, they're going to see these multiple people coming in their face. That's all they know, is that mommy has a new person. Mommy got a new boyfriend. So I have yet to, well, I'm not in a relationship right now, so I'm not with someone to where I'm meeting, where I'm getting serious with them. I'm dating, but I'm not in a serious relationship to where I will, introduce them to my daughter, because I feel like that's precious. I don't know. A lot of people do things differently, where they feel a little bit more open, a little bit more comfortable. If they're dating them for about 6 months, they feel like, hey, I want you to meet my children. So, what kind of pointers would you give for someone who has children, or is bringing them home to meet someone, your family, someone special? What kind of pointers would you give?
Coming from that aspect of, I don't have children, but I may be dating someone that is bringing a child into a possible relationship, mm-hmm. I have to say that I am very cautious. Meeting someone's child, for the simple fact that, like you said, children are impressionable. You might grow to love that child, and that child might grow to love you, but it's going absolutely nowhere with their parent. If things end horribly, how is that relationship with that child going to go?
Right.
You have to think of children as the precious pots of gold that they are. You would not invite a stranger into your home to see all your worldly possessions and know absolutely nothing about them. This is one of your most precious possessions, and you're tasked with the right of protecting them. And I will have to say that you just want to screen and vet these people. It's done at schools. Why shouldn't it be done at home? Before I can go and read to a school full of elementary students, they have to run my background. They have to take my fingerprints because they want to ensure that you're not going to hurt one of their babies. And that's the position and the stand that we have to take. You cannot introduce everyone to your child.
That's so
take
true.
every precaution to know this person is not going to have an adverse effect on my child. If you're a serial dater, I would say longer than 3 to 6 months, because evidently the judgment factor is not there. And you don't want that person to spill over into who your child is becoming, especially if they're young.
Right.
Children are so impressionable that everyone around them can be an influence, and nobody wants that negative influence on their child.
That's true. That's true. Absolutely. I agree. So to lighten it up, this is going to be, we all do this.
That was very heavy.
Yeah, that was heavy, but it's something that needs to be discussed. And I think that millennials are a little bit too free, especially when they're young parents and they're dating. I've seen it too much working with children and seeing how that affects them. So, that was heavy, but it's something that needed to be discussed. So, but the discussion again, Kissables discussion that's not in here, go to our website or go to the Facebook group. It's open, Kissable Nights Podcast or focus group, and you can continue the conversation. But on a lighter note, well, I think it's funny. Put your damn phone away, okay? Don't bring your phone out on a date unless you've set an expectation saying, you know what, my job is going to be calling me. I know that, I know we said we're going to go out tonight, but I work late hours and, the network might go down and they need to call me. So just know I may have to take a phone call, or I have a babysitter and I just, want to call and check on them. But don't bring your phone out in the midst of conversation. Just because it vibrates, you are taking your phone out. Put your damn phone away. What the hell? Please don't be that person, because that makes them feel that what they're saying is not important and that you're not interested. And if you're not interested, honey, you need to say that. Don't bring out your phone. That's just rude. That's just rude.
And with that, if you need to say you're not interested, maybe it's time to just cut the date short. Why waste your time and why waste their time?
Mm-hmm. This is so rude.
But don't be that rude person.
Oh, just because it vibrated. Oh, shoot, it vibrated. I wonder who what that was. Was that Twitter? Was that Facebook? Oh, that was just so-and-so texting me. I'll text them back. Or who called me? Okay, let me see who called. Okay, I'll call them back. It's just, I don't know. It's just irritating to me. And I, usually when you're having a good time and you're getting to know the person, you ain't worried about your phone. You ain't worried about your phone. You are present. You are there. And I think human connection is something that is totally important. When dating, human connection is, the base of you getting to know each other. So your phone needs to be put away. You need to stop worrying about the world, and unless there's an expectation. I understand work, children, all that good stuff, but put that thing up. Put it up. What about...
Put that thing up. Put that thing up. Put it up.
What about eye contact? I have a problem with that too. When I meet somebody, and y'all tell me, y'all out there, Kissables, tell me, eye contact is not important. Eye contact is important to me. I need to know that you're paying attention to me. No? Am I wrong? I mean, I totally understand if you look away, but for the most part, I need to know. Now, tell me your side, Lily. What you think? What you think?
I'm a nervous eye contact person. If I'm feeling you, I find you attractive, you are it for me as far as on the looks department, I am the coy, shy person with the eye dartation. Yes, I made up that word. It's my Urban Dictionary. I will look at you and dart away. Ask you a question, look down. Smile, answer your question, look away. It's just, eye contact is important. Now, don't stare the person down. Don't stare the person down. At least break eye contact 1 minute. It's not a competition for the dominant personality at the table. Break away and let this person breathe. But for us awkward people or us shy people or those who have the eyes and the facial expression that says everything that they're thinking, don't be afraid to make that eye contact because that shows interest and it keeps the conversation going. If you're continuously looking away, it makes that person who's trying to have the conversation with you think that you're not interested, and they get nervous. So if you have an issue with eye contact for long periods of time, do a glance effect. Kind of like how you do when you're presenting something to an audience or a crowd, or you're reading, like in school, you glance up, you look around, you find a point over their shoulder, their ears, who knows. Look down, look across, but bring it back so that they know that you're engaged.
Absolutely. I've had conversations with some people where I would be talking. They would ask me a question, and I'm pretty sure they know that this question takes a little bit of explanation. So I'm answering the question, but yet they're looking off to the side, and I'm just looking at them like, wow. I keep talking, but in my head, I'm like, I wonder if they're going to remember anything I'm saying. So,
that is so off-putting.
And then I would just stop talking. I would abruptly stop talking and just kind of look at them and see if their attention would turn back. And some people say, I'm listening. Those are, people who have skilled themselves on, or gained skilled on being multi-talented, where they could do things more than one thing at one time. But I mean, that's great when you're at work or when you got tasks and things that you need to do, but not when you sitting in front of somebody trying to get to know them. No, don't do that. I need to know that you're into what I'm saying. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Exactly what you mean. I am one of those people, but I tend to tilt my head. And as I'm processing something that's being said, I kind of find a point on their face or on the table to stare at. But I do, if you find yourself being that person, make a sound, give acknowledgement, just to know or let the person know that you're taking note of what's being said, that you've not only just asked the question, but you're willing to hear them out as far as their stance, their point of view, or how they feel about the situation. It can be very off-putting to look up and be explaining to somebody and they're not showing any signs of knowledge.
None, child. They think about the next thing.
Question? A lot of times people do in today's society do try and process. Oh, so I asked her this question while she's answering, or while he's answering. What am I planning on saying next? Just take a step back. Silence is golden. Okay. Now, 15 minutes of silence is a little awkward, but if there has to be a 2-minute lag Let there be a 2-minute lag in the conversation.
So y'all know silence is. I love it, honey. Some people can't. Some people that makes people. Some people feel uncomfortable when there is silence, like riding in the car. Say you're riding in the car with someone. I absolutely appreciate the silence. Okay, it's okay. It is okay to breathe, to think to yourself. Not saying that you need to do it the whole ride, but if you got some music playing in the background, you don't always have to be talking or saying something. Let me ask you this. How do you feel about someone that is very touchy-feely, especially like when you're just getting to know them in the beginning of the dates? Like they want to hold your hand, they're always rubbing, you know.
Don't be touchy-feely. I am
You don't like touchy-feely.
One of those people that do not like touchy-feely.
Okay.
I will give you a church hug after the date. I will give you a kiss on the cheek. However, or a side body hug. Don't hold my hand. I don't.
Oh, so you're like hand holding.
Even in a relationship, I'm not.
Oh, so you're just not okay. You're not that type of person.
Affection like that.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Not to say everybody's like that, but just gauge the person. Because if you coming in for a full kiss on the lips, that person might be like, back up. But they don't mean to hurt your feelings. That's how they are.
Right. And
if
that's where those questions come in. That like you ask those questions before you make those moves.
Because I'm a hugger. I like hugs. I don't know where your mouth been. Don't kiss me. Just take it baby steps. You're learning the person. You have to learn their mechanisms of existence. Like touchy-feely is not for everybody, but some people like to be touched.
Yeah, like I mean, let's not be on the first date and you holding my hand and hugging me and all that kind of, no. I mean, of course you're going to have to learn me eventually, like in a relationship. I don't mind holding hands. I don't mind hugs. I don't mind kissing on the cheek. I don't mind you rubbing my arm, give me a nice massage while we're sitting there waiting or whatever. I mean, I don't mind that. I don't mind those things because I am a physical person. I'm a physical touch person. So I don't mind those things. Unlike Lurleen, please don't touch, don't kiss. She will give you a church hug, a side body hug. I think that is like hilarious. But there are people who are like that. And that's what comes from asking questions. Ask those questions when you're on the date. If I were to come up to you and do this to you, how would you react? And you can answer the question honestly. Some people aren't honest about what they would do, but or you could say, well, do you like to hold hands? Do you like, do you mind if I kiss you on your cheek? Some men, are courteous and they ask, and that way you both, you won't be embarrassed if the person like slapping you in your face if you try to come kiss them, or, you know what I mean? Communication is everything. Communicate.
I wouldn't hurt you. It's just that you would know that you don't overstep your boundaries with me, because my facial expression and my body language would be like, not. What are you doing? No. Exactly. It's just know the person. It's like, if you're somebody that sleeps with somebody on the first date, that's fine for you. But everybody's not like that. So be courteous, be aware of the signals that someone is giving. Or if it's cross signals, ask respectfully the questions you're interested in.
Right.
Word here being respectfully. Don't bust out with something off the wall. You might get your feelings hurt. I'm just saying.
So to close it out, I wanted to make this last point, and if you have like a good story for us, that'd be great. A story that lasts about 5 minutes though. So the last part is, I always promote, safety, always being safe. Make sure that you contact, if this is the first date, you've never met this person, you've met them off of line or whatever, make sure you contact someone that that let them know where you're going, your best friend. Text them. You could text them a picture of the person. You could text them the addresses that you're going to be.
License plate.
I mean, be as cautious as possible when going out with someone that you do not know. I mean, you just have to put yourself first and make sure that you are safe, number one, when going out on these dates with people that you don't know. So that is a good tool or a good tip to keep by letting your best friend know, letting somebody know. Let them know where you're going, what you're doing, who you're with. So if something does happen, they'll be able to report whatever information that they do know instead of saying, well, I haven't spoken to them since last week or, whatever. And then you turn up somewhere where you could have been saved out of a situation.
So we all need saving.
Yeah, you're right now. We sure do. In some shape or form. So, Lurleen, do you have a story that you could tell us about 5 minutes? 5 minutes or less?
So we have touched on a lot of topics today. We've talked about dating site, safety, respect, and phone awareness. With everyone meeting people online these days and, the influence of social media, there are very few relationships that start by a recommendation of a mutual friend. So in my experience of a fisher of men, I was on Plenty of Fish for a while after becoming single again and not knowing how to actually find people to date or where to go to meet eligible singles. Just be aware of the people that you're willing to meet on these social sites. With everybody being in the influence of LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, everything, if you get a person's full name because you're getting ready to go on a date with that person, do a little background check, just so you know. That way, if, for instance, you are broke down on the side of the road, you meet this friend or this new person who stops with their friends who are on motorcycles, because I am a motorcycle lover, and you're with your homegirl who just got her new car, and her new car broke down. And they decide to wait with you while you wait on AAA to come pick you up, and you get their number and you decide that you're just going to ride out for a motorcycle ride and you're going to spend the whole next Saturday with this person. And you done told your friends, but you really don't know anything about this person. Y'all go on a little motorcycle ride. You're riding through the countryside for about 2 hours. You come back, they drop you off, you change. Yet again, you don't let anybody know where you're going or who you with. And you decide to go out to dinner with this person. While you're sitting there having dinner with this person and their wife shows up. Yes.
Wait a minute.
Wife shows up.
Oh my God.
Just have that wherewithal to have told somebody where you were going. So that way, and they leave you there because they had to leave with their wife. So at the restaurant, just having an unassumable date.
Oh my God. They do it, honey.
You have someone to call to come pick you up. It's what in a area of town at a restaurant, especially if you're like in a metropolitan area where it's just easy to go 10, 15 minutes away that might end up being 30 miles away from your region of town. Just let somebody know. So that when you pick up your phone at 10:30 and you're calling everybody who might be out on a Saturday night to see if they can come pick you up because you kind of stranded outside this restaurant that closes in 30 to 45 minutes, they're able to come and get you. Even if they don't have no car. Or better yet, this is 2017. Get the Lyft app, the freaking Dolphin app.
Dolphin?
Whatever the app is. Yeah, girl, that was back in the day, child. Uber. have somebody able to pick you up, and that goes in line with make sure you have enough money on your debit card, credit card, or in your pocket to get home, even if you don't know the bus route, because that would be me. I don't know bus routes. But if I needed to get home or get to a central location so somebody can get me, have it. Plan ahead. Never know what's going to happen, girl. I'm telling you. That was an experience. Deer in the headlights. But you know what? I was respectful. I sat across from this woman next to her husband, and she was respectful to me. She asked certain questions because she was being inquisitive as to what her spouse thought he was doing.
Wow. I never knew that one.
Her friend, if it was my friend, to call me and tell me, girl, your man or your woman, homeboy, is out here with another chick or another dude. Girl, are you sure? Hold up. I'll send you a picture. Like, I would want that. And I would think if it ever happened again, I would want that person to be respectful of me, and I would want to be respectful of that person, because I am not in that union. This was a mistake because I did not do my research on this joker. But girl, I'm going to tell you the information, and you do what it is, what you like. But don't worry about it. I will lose his number. In fact, I'm deleting it right now because I don't memorize numbers.
This happened?
Don't worry about me. So, ladies,
this actually happened.
Yes. Down to the motorcycle, broke down Fran on the side of the road.
I can't believe this. I never knew this story. Girl. What's the moral of the story?
On the side of the road put me up to it because I wasn't even physically attracted, but I like motorcycles. Who'd have thunk it?
Girl.
The moral of the story is be aware. Acknowledge your awareness. Let somebody know. And don't take everything at face value. Just because they are able to act single does not mean that they are single, and don't nobody want to be in a real life Fatal Attraction TV1 style.
Oh, God.
Or Investigation Discovery.
Okay.
I don't.
First 48 running him.
Because if she was crazy, things could have went a different way.
It sure could have. Like,
public, avoid dark areas, know your surroundings, because anything can pop off at a drop of a dime. And if you know where the exits are, you could do it. Escape, help, SOS. That was the time for my SOS, escape message, whatever.
That's absolutely crazy. Well, guys, I did not know anything about this story. I didn't know anything about this story. And I'm like, this probably has happened to many women. Like, I'm pretty sure this is not the first. And it won't be the last. But, dude, it was off the chain. Like, wow. You don't take your date. If you gonna cheat, don't take your date to somewhere where you and your wife done been before, where they know it. You know your friends go? What? Oh, anyway.
Or at least let him or her know that you either got, I know we said earlier, don't bring up exes, but if that mug is psychotic.
That too. Like, was he married though?
Yes, he was married.
Was he separated?
No.
Oh my God.
Told me children and everything.
Please be honest, people.
Bought 6 months ago and everything.
Girl, it didn't happen to us all, one shape or form or another, for sure.
Yeah, in the headlights.
Well, y'all, thank you so much for tuning in. This is the Kissable Diva. Thanking you for tuning in to Kissable Nights, where we discuss everything love, sex, and relationships after dark. Remember to tune in every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Next week's show, we are talking about what are we? I mean, we've dated, we've gone out, we've done this, we've done that. What are we? Hopefully you will tune in and chime in on a discussion on the Kissable Nights Focus Group or Kissable Nights Facebook page. Miss Lurleen Paragon, thank you so much for doing the first show with me. I really appreciate it. Your story was wow. The information you have given was awesome. And I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
No problem, anytime.
And I'm sure she will be back, guys, because she has a lot of stories. She has a lot of stories. So we'll be sure to have her back. And the idea, just so you all know, the idea is to have different co-hosts onto the show talking about these different subjects. And we're going to have females as well as males come onto the show. So please look out for that. So Kissables, thank you so much for tuning in again. And keep it kissable. Have a good night.